Okay, so now we brainstormed all the times we've been scared, and you should have chose the one that you want to write about. So your next brainstorm needs to be about all of the things that have happened on my hike. So whatever event you chose here, you need to create a new circle map so that you can remember all of the different things that had happened during that time. So I remember when we were lost, there was no one around for a long time. I remember it was a very eerie feeling. I remember we started to hear noises. I remember it was starting to get dark. When we were lost on the hike, I remember we finally decided we were looking for this waterfall, right? And then we started not seeing anybody around, so we started getting scared. We had no cell service. We started to hear noises in the bushes. I remember we just finally decided to run down the mountain or down the hill. And I picked up rocks when I did that because I was so scared in case I saw an animal, I wanted to be able to throw something at it. I remember it was a couple of years ago. And I remember it was with my friend Brittany. Okay. So these are the details that I can remember about being lost on a hike. Now, remember things like a couple of years ago, and Brittany is going to end up going in my opening because I have my 5 W's in my opening. But I need to think about now, after I brainstorm, what are the topics of my paragraphs going to be? So remember, I'm going to go into detail about these things. So I remember the first thing that happened was when we started to get scared was because nobody was around. So my first paragraph is going to talk about when no one's around. We hadn't seen anybody. We hadn't seen any paths to take, and there was just nobody there. So we were really scared. The no cell service. That's when we decided we wanted to go ahead and turn around, especially because we didn't have any way to call anybody and all of those things. It was dark when we found out we had no cell service. And then we finally decided we were going to run down the hill. And when we were running down the hill, that's when I picked up the rocks and we started running, and we were tired and exhausted and all of those things. So my first paragraph is going to start talking about when no one was around. We hadn't seen anyone in a long time. There were no signs to go anywhere, and we were scared. The next one is going to be about no cell service, and it started getting dark. And when we looked around, is when we started to hear noises. And we were scared because we couldn't call anybody. And then my last paragraph is going to be when we finally decided we were going to run down the hill, and we picked up the rocks, and then all of the things that happened when we were running down the hill. We ended up running into this man. He told us we went the wrong way, and then we were super tired by the time we got done. So I'm going to use those 3 details, and my last thing that I need to do today is turn that into my 3 boxes. Okay, so now all I'm doing is I'm putting these details in my boxes. So I'm going to say no one around, no cell service, and run down hill. Okay, so now I have my details. Tomorrow we are going to write our opening and add everything that happened. Not today though. So today you're finishing your first brainstorm, then this brainstorm, and then starting to create your map. And remember, this should be done in your writing notebook so you don't lose all of the pages. Okay, make sure you take a picture of all of these and post them on Schoology.